I think the impeachment is wearing on him. Yesterday, Mitch McConnell announced that he did not have the votes to preclude witnesses. Now, here is, let's play this. The thing that people should understand is that, and who was it that was on? It was Blumenthal, right? Blumenthal, here is where Chuck Schumer is failing us a little bit. Here is Richard Blumenthal. Let's play this. It's clear McConnell now does not have the votes. That does not mean that he won't have the votes to prevent witnesses. They're going to put up for a vote. I don't know when that vote's going to come, in the next day or two. And the question is, should we have witnesses? And then subsequent to that vote, it could be, who should we call? Should we call Hunter Biden? Should we call John Bolton? They only need 51 votes. The Republicans control this process. And here's Richard Blumenthal. And this is a perfect example of like how badly Chuck Schumer has done at this. Because the fact that we could be at this point in the impeachment and it's not a fact that is in the forefront of everyone's mind is a problem of messaging, period. Here's Richard Blumenthal on with Chris Cuomo.
I hear you on that. But now what happens? Let's say you get the witnesses, okay? And they say, fine, you can have Bolton. We want Joe Biden.
Well, Joe Biden or Hunter Biden, who is more likely to be requested, they're saying is part of a quid pro quo. I don't think that we can do a quid pro quo trade on witnesses in an impeachment trial involving an alleged corrupt quid pro quo. More to the point.
But you don't have the votes, Senator.
Well, they can call Hunter Biden or Joe Biden.
That's right.
At any point. They have the majority.
Yeah.
And you know the reason that they haven't called them. They don't want them as witnesses because they don't want to prolong the trial and they don't want necessarily to turn it into a circus. What they have done in the course of this trial is try to continue the smear of the former vice president and his son. And that's what they're trying to put on the Senate floor if they insist on this witness trade. But
pause it. Okay. So the look on Chris Cuomo when it's like suddenly occurs to him like, hey, wait a second. That's right. They haven't called him yet. They're not going to call him. Or maybe they will. But the bottom line is every single person who even remotely touches upon this should be aware of the fact that there's need to be an exchange here of witnesses. The Democrats should not be even entertaining that question because they have no control over it. They shouldn't be saying, don't call this person or don't, because it's not their call. It is up to the Republicans. If the Bidens come, they could vote on this today. And Joe Biden would be subpoenaed and Hunter Biden would be subpoenaed. Chuck Schumer should be in the news every day going, look, if the Republicans want to call Hunter Biden, they call Hunter Biden. He has nothing to do with this case. If they want to call Beyonce, they should call Beyonce. They should call Beyonce and then we can get her autograph. It has nothing to do with the case. You should call maybe Matt Damon or let's get, Jimmy Kimmel to come in. It'll be fun for everybody, but it's not going to have anything to do with this case. All we're asking is for witnesses who have pertinent information. Whoever the Republicans decide they're going to call, they're going to call. They have 51 votes. They could call anyone. They could call Hillary Clinton. They call Bill Clinton. They could exhume Vince Foster, have him show up at the hearing. They could do anything that they want. All we're asking is to have relevant witnesses. This is the way that you message this. With all due respect to Blumenthal from Connecticut, the whole quid pro quo and turning that on its head as if like the way we're going to say quid pro quo over and over again is they're asking for a quid pro quo. Even we were talking about a quid pro quo. Look, that's very clever, but this is very simple. Republicans can call whoever they want. They have a choice. They can either call relevant or irrelevant witnesses. And if they're going to call irrelevant witnesses like Hunter Biden or Joe Biden, then they might as well also get some people in who'll be interesting and entertaining for everybody. So maybe the senators can get like an autograph. I met Beyonce today. That's what Chuck Schumer would do if he was competent at his job. He would use his platform to educate and to frame this to the extent that he can. Obviously, like, he doesn't have 51 votes, but he can make Chris Cuomo, who every night is interviewing Democrats about this very topic, not be surprised when he's reminded that the Republicans could call whoever they want. That is a failure of messaging. This is just very basic stuff. Very basic stuff. It's sad. All right, we're going to get back to impeachment in a minute, and then I want to read a couple of pieces by David Frum and Jonathan Chait, because it is important for Democrats and particularly supporters of Bernie Sanders to at least address the question of electability so that they can respond to these things to some extent. I mean, it's far more important to knock on doors and whatnot, but on some level, this is the terrain that we're playing on.